All right, in HR, we're all here, we're in HR. We came to these roles because we love people, and it's what drew us and it's what's keeping us here today. But now AI is something that is really not human. So how do we deal with something that's a non-human intelligence that's kind of monkeying with the thing that we love about our jobs? We are here because of the human. Now, it is throwing up a couple of challenges that we have to start dealing with. Challenge number one is denial. It's in our faces now. We keep talking about the tools of the future, but in fact it's happening right this moment. This is what the world is like right now when it comes to people seeking jobs, people recruiting from jobs. We have a good 3/4 of our workforce is using AI in our daily lives, and that has doubled in the last year. And if you think about it like this, every time it's doubling and doubling, what does that bring? It's actually really being used already now. Now, what does this mean in terms of people seeking jobs, right? Almost half the people are using it to write motivation letters, to write out their CVs. And all the people that are thinking about it, these are the people, 7 out of 10, who are planning to use it to write these CVs. Which brings us to this kind of strange dilemma. We have people who are not reporting using it. So a lot more people are using it, in fact, than people who are saying that they're using it. Which creates this very interesting new phenomenon, the secret cyborg, is people kind of quietly using it without letting their bosses know, without letting their team members know, because it makes them so much more efficient. And this is something that our job seekers and our recruiters are doing, not always telling you that that's what's happening. So we have tools that are automating our job application process. And we're kind of having this arms race, if you will, because people who are applying for jobs, people who are seeking the jobs, we're all using AI, well, not all, but many more than reporting, more and more on both ends of it. And in a way, if you're looking for a job, how can you not use it if everybody else around you is? Then you are missing out on those good jobs. So here's a certain platform that people are using all the time. If you get the premium version of this platform, this enables you to send out 10,000 job applications per day, every single day. And they're going to be perfect. They're going to hit every single keyword that those recruiters have put in there, and they're going to get right through the AI filtration tools used by the talent recruiters, some of which work in larger organizations, but a lot of them are off-site, right? A lot of these are recruiters that come in, they fill a vacancy, and then they leave again, right? Are you watching everything they do? No, not necessarily. But we know that these tools are highly effective and they're being used in a big way. Now, one level up from that is if you are using AI to assist in the job interview process. Now, I hope we can see this. This is somebody who is actually having a real-time live interview, being fed the perfect information with voice recognition software on her phone. I mean, I don't know if the roommates are still friends. I'm guessing not, because this is like this massive meme that's gone all over YouTube. But we're now in a position where even when you think you're having a human experience, one-on-one, oh, the interview will be fine. Yes, I know the CV is written by AI. I know the motivation letter is written by AI. But once I get face-to-face, then it's going to be, human, us girls, But it's not always, and we don't know, because these things are so advanced now that it's possible for an AI to be listening to the conversation, being fed in text the bullet points of what exactly the most algorithmically attractive answer will be, and for that person to then repeat it back. So that's the world that we HR people live in today. Okay, we don't need to have that repeat again. I think we've seen it enough. So the second challenge that is hitting us in HR is that because of this, we are kind of losing this human touch. We are in a heavily automated mindset. We want to automate as many processes as possible. We are all experiencing a bit of a talent shortage, a bit of a talent crunch. And so let's automate more. Let's automate more of our processes. Now, what does that mean for you in HR? You didn't come for an automated process. You didn't choose your jobs because you want all these things to be taken over by bots. You want to be in a human experience. And in fact, the more digitized that we get with everything, the less human experience we have. We're kind of working ourselves out of it. What this means is the AI is so efficient and so good at screening for candidates that you even remove that human in the loop, that human screener. AI can screen the candidates, AI can make that final selection, and AI can even take the top 3 people and put them forward for an interview. So we are really losing our human possibilities here. In fact, we've gotten to such a point where, oh, okay, let's see, we have a message coming in. Here we go. Just in.
Just to confirm the password, is this correct?
No. Sorry about that. This is technical difficulty. See, this is the problem with digital, right? Mm-hmm. This is a letter 1. Okay. Oh, that could be that or lack of preparation on my part. That's probably more likely. Right. The only thing that we know that's real is this. This is a human live experience that we're having together. You're having this, you're having this, you're having this, right? Now, in a digital world, even if you think you're having a video call with a live person, also that can be fake, right? AI has shown us that it's getting better and better, and it's going to be indistinguishable in the future to know if you're having an interaction with a live human. Okay. The next challenge, I don't know whether, are you already feeling bias in your filtration? For those of you who are involved in, how many people here are involved in acquisition? Let's just go there. Okay. All right, almost the half. Okay. Has anyone seen firsthand data bias in your filters? Okay, right. Now, just because you haven't seen it, unfortunately, I have to say it's very likely already there. Data, we say data isn't perfect. Well, data is us. Data is all of our information. Are we perfect? No. So why should our data be perfect, right? The AI system is a tool that takes the stuff that we give it, the food that we give it, and manipulates it and works with it and gives you an output. It's very, very, very good at doing that process. But then you have to consider the actual data that's going in, right? So if the data is perfect and clean, then the answer that you're going to get out is perfect and clean. Is it very human, it's a pile of spaghetti, and it's mixed of a lot of legacy stuff, then guess what kind of output you're going to get, right? So if you're dealing with data, screening your candidates, then we have to consider how effective that tool is going to be. One fantastic example is Amazon trained a bot to do selection and screening. And they said, this is an example of 55 of our top employees. These are the kinds of people we want more of. So here, AI, learn what this CV looks like, learn what these motivation letters look like, and find us people like that. Don't look for men, even though everybody I'm giving you is a male, but just don't look at the male part, you know, but, and don't look at the age part either, right? But we want these people with these skills and these attributes, but don't look at age, don't look at gender, don't look at race. Okay, fine. What did the algorithm do? Well, I'm not supposed to look at age. I'm not supposed to look at age. But look, all of these people have Instagram accounts and TikTok accounts. So that it's pattern recognition. I'm not looking at age. But everybody here has a TikTok account, so I'm going to be looking at TikTok over here, right? I'm not going to look at gender. I'm not going to look at gender. But look at these sports that these candidates are showing. Rugby, lacrosse, rowing. No gender, no gender. Pattern recognition, right? I want the candidates that have the same hobbies. Rugby, lacrosse, rowing. Who does that? Dudes. Okay. Same thing with race. All these people cannot look at race, but all the people that we already have working here do certain things with their volunteer time that sort of kind of talk about their race, right? And all an algorithm is doing is just saying monkey see, monkey do, matching patterns, right? So what did they get, this Amazon no human in the loop filtration tool? A whole bunch of white dudes who looked that's exactly what but we told the algorithm not to look at race. We told the algorithm not to look at gender. They weren't looking at gender or age. They were looking at all the other things because they don't know how to weight their systems. Now, since we've learned how to do this. But this is the problem when you're coming across data, and this is what's affecting you every single day. When you set out to train an algorithm, you are making it easy to fit the system. So the algorithm is going to be looking for people that are exactly matching what you want. How many people have you had where you hired them, they came into the interview, you hired them for the first day, and it's like, this person doesn't really look like a superstar employee. She wears, these shoes and she doesn't have that feeling, but she was your best employee ever. Or how many times have you had somebody come in, they looked the part, they were slick, they said everything right, and they totally underperformed? If we only look for the things that we already have, that we think are perfect, we are cutting out a huge part of these great rough diamonds that we'll never have access to. And with AI, even more so, because the algorithm is trained to focus in on the thing we already want. It's recognizing a pattern. This is what we have. We want more of this. I'm going to deliver you more of this. So this is one of the dangers that we're going to be faced by all of you. All right, here we have the Amazon study, right? So this is a little bit of the wording that was used in that Amazon study. They had to pull the entire algorithm off the line. They had to rewrite it all, and they had to relaunch it in a whole different way. They used a whole different set of metrics and weights, and now hopefully it's getting better. So Amazon might become a little bit more diverse. All right. Here's another challenge that you and HR are facing. How many of you have suddenly gotten a whole bunch more applications recently? Like, wow, talent crisis is over. Okay, not yet. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. You know how the talent wars and we're losing and we're the shortage of talent, and suddenly like, wow, I'm getting a lot of people all of a sudden, but they're not all people, right? They're not all real. These are bots. So you have this, remember those 10,000 applications per day. What do you do if you're being faced with this 10,000 a day kind of influx of people coming into you, right? So you have these automated processes, then you upgrade into automated filtration, and it just goes on and on from here. So we are going to be getting this flood of incoming applications, and we're going to have to start pre-dealing with it. Even if it's not happening right now, it is already happening in some markets around the world, and we can start to put some sorts of filtrations in place or some kind of training in place so we know what to do when this happens. That means, what can we expect? You're going to start reaching out to some of these candidates. They're going to start not showing up to interviews. They're going to start ghosting you for interviews and not responding to your text because they're not humans in the first place. They're there to make that connection. So be prepared for this if this happens in your market. Okay. And when you get these 10,000 applications per day, they're all going to look the same because they're going to be going from your keywords, the vacancies that you're writing up. They're going to be spitting them right back to you. So you're getting these absolutely perfect applications. And you're not going to have time to go and check the references because you have to deal with this mountain of applications. So this is going to be kind of the world that we're living in. And this is why we really do need to have some AI training in leadership and down the line as well. So from recruiters all the way up, having some AI training is going to help a lot. All right. So we're just going to have a quick little dive into it. How many people right here are using it at work? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, very good. So this is a big difference from last year. Last year, I asked that very same question and a few little hands shot up, and now it's like, bang, everybody. Nice. Okay. And how many people are using it with their full knowledge of their manager? as part of company policy that's very clearly spread and communicated. Wonderful. Are there any secret cyborgs in here? Okay, good, because you're secret. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's a safe space. Now, it's good to know how the system works, even if you don't have to understand how to write code and write an algorithm. It's just good to understand a little bit. So we're just going to sink in a little bit into our teeth. We all have a lot of emotions about AI, right? We've watched The Terminator, we've seen The Matrix, the last invention man has ever made, all that. You know, I think about that too. And even if we don't know what it is, we have a strong opinion. I have no idea what it is, but I have an opinion about it, right? It's a very different kind of technology than we've developed in the past, because it has the potential for awareness and sentience and emotion. And this is a very controversial thing to say. But it's not clear yet what kind of creature we are creating here. We know it's an artificial version of our own brains, but we don't know how deep that goes. So it's scary. We don't know what we're doing. And even the guys, and I mean guys, who made the thing, don't really know either. We know that it's incredibly powerful and it works very, very well, but we don't exactly know why. First thing to say about AI, it's not a robot. It may very well be someday, but at this moment in time, it is about 4,000 lines of code written in either R or Python. It's small enough to fit on your phone. It's that small. It's not very, very complex, but it's it's instructions on how to deal with a lot of data. AI does three things very, very well. Based on a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of data, it's able to analyze and predict, analyze and give advice, and analyze and create. Those are the three things that it does very, very well. And there are three basic layers to the brain of AI. So if you pull apart the brain of the AI, open the skull of the thing, and you look inside, you look at the basis layers, this algorithm layer, okay? That is the code, that's the 4,000 lines, that gives it the basic instruction as to what to do. Let's say you have a baby born. The baby has this kind of baked-in way of knowing what to say, what to do. Baby cries, baby gets food. Baby cries, baby gets a nice new diaper. So babies have this kind of built-in, baked-in intelligence. Where did it come from? You could say it's like the algorithm, right? So a model can be fully formed out in the world and has this kind of intelligence. But in fact, a baby has to go to school, right? Child has to go to school. So an AI also has to go through a training process, usually a couple of months, 6 to 8 months, to get out into the world. We judge model intelligence by the number of parameters. This is the number of connecting points from one bit of information to the other. And the amazing thing is that's exactly how our own brain works, right? We have this very complex structure where it starts from a very complex roadmap and it goes more and more condensed into what is the most probable correct answer. All it's doing is based on probability, it's seeing what is the most likely next word in the sentence, and then it comes out based on all the examples that it sees, all the pattern recognition, it'll come with one very good next word in a sentence, which is why it works. The amazing thing is that's exactly how our brain works, right? We have neural networks, and they connect two pieces of information. They fire together, they wire together. And we're building tools that emulate how our brain thinks. In addition to the school and the baked-in layer of intelligence, you also have weights, and weights is your connection to the world. Every time you have an interaction with some object in the outside world, you are gathering more intelligence about that world. And so the model is no different. The model is learning every single time it has an interaction with us, and it's improving. And it adjusts its own weights. A weight is a number. You can kind of think of it like an equalizer, a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that, where it's adjusting itself and its own intelligence in the world. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like, this is like Chinese, but this is really the important, this is the number. And these numbers go up and down based on whether it has the correct advice or not, because we give it, advice back. We give it feedback. We tell it it's doing a good job or a bad job by our behavior. Do we take it? Do we rewrite it? Do we retweak the prompt? We're giving it information, which is allowing it to adjust its tweaks. A traditional software package isn't going to do this. It isn't going to self-adjust. A traditional executable file is just going to run the file, right? And just do what's told. It's not going to ever change. That's the fundamental difference between AI and software. And then finally, we have the role of data in all this. And the way we can understand what data has done, what the role of data is in AI, is why is AI so powerful right now? If we look at our data environment right around the pandemic and before that, we saw this really sharp uptick of the amount of data that we're producing in the world. And the data is, like we said, food for AI. What happened right after the pandemic? Boom. The amount of data that we produced in the world exploded. Our phones, our devices, our computers, we ourselves, we began publishing and publishing our locations, our text, our emails, our information, our books, our articles. We are over-publishing ourselves all the time. And that's exactly what caused the model to have this kind of explosivity in intelligence. So real quick, these are our three pieces of the brain: the algorithm, parameters, and weights, kind of swimming in this vast sea of data, operating in a kind of highly complex black box based on probability that gives us the correct next word in the sentence. We humans also have a black box. And then the question is, now what do we do?